keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you tied a rope to me. You're blessing me every day. I was down with an illusion, like a sparrow with broken wings. But now I shine with your reflection on me. I'm getting back up on my feet. That you showed up was written in the palm. You are a statement, explode like a bomb. I get to push myself to victory. You make me winner. You cut me loose and set me free. You make me win in every way. You showed me how to spread my wings. Yes, I'm the winner of the day. You cut me loose and set me free. You make me win in every way. You showed me how to spread my wings. Yes, I'm the winner of the day. Yes, I'm the winner, yeah. 'Cause I'm the winner, yes. Am I awake or am I dreaming? So far gone, I won't look back. And when I move, there ain't no stopping me. You're pushing me up to the top. I saw the clouds looking angry, but then the sky reached my mind. And when I spaced out, I see the possibilities unfolding the way that I want. That you showed up was written in the palm. You are a statement, explode like a bomb. I get to push myself to victory. You make me winner. You cut me loose and set me free. You cut me loose. You make me win in every way. Win in every way. You show me how to spread my wings. Yes, I'm the winner of the day. You cut me loose and set me free. You make me win in every way. You show me how to spread my wings. Yes, I'm the winner of the day. Yes, I'm the winner, yeah. 'Cause I'm the winner, yes. 'Cause I'm the winner, yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh. Yes, I'm the winner, yeah.
Hello, everyone on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Twitter. Hopefully you see us. I am so happy to have Meshell Baker with me today, the Queen of Confidence. Thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, so fun to be here, Jen, as a co-author. There's so many amazing women in this book, and the chance to get to chat with you, chat live to the audience, and tell people about this journey and about this book is just, I'm just like over the moon, right? That's why I got balloons. I'm about to bust. So,
That's amazing, and I love the balloons, so colorful. So before we get into all the other stuff, I did not announce the winner from last week. I had Leslie join me, and we talked about TikTok for sales. I noticed everyone leveling up on TikTok, specifically Heidi. You know, she went and got on TikTok. So I have to announce who won the book. So Delisandra, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, Acosta. But you won Heels to Deals, the book. So I gotta wait for all my copies to arrive, but I am going to reach out and get your address and send it right over to you. And I can't wait to see what you think. So that's exciting. And someone else will win a book today. So I am committed to getting as many of these books out there into the world as possible. So hopefully we'll have lots of people joining us. If you are joining us, thank you. Just Thank
Yes.
you for coming, showing up. I appreciate it. If you're watching this live or if you're watching this as a replay, let me know that too. Put in hashtag replay so I know you come in the replay, because I give it a little time, so that, if there's a lot of engagement and it happens to be, the replay, that's okay too. I'm like, that's fine. Works for me. So thank you again for being here. And Meshell, I can't wait to learn more about you. When I was writing up information for this episode, I was like, I went over to your LinkedIn profile and I'm like, co- igniting confidence, igniting, like, just that is such a great word. So tell me, how do you do that?
Oh, there's many, many, many ways. One of the aspects of my persona and who I am, I won't say persona, it's actually who I am. I don't know why I use that word. It's been for a couple of, oh, hey, Heidi. Ah, Heidi just said hello, right? Is that I leave people better off for having met me. And it's a principle that I really think about in sales. So how I was able to create an incredible sales career is just the humanness of people, right? I believe sales is a contact sport, right? We are communicating with other people all day long, and people don't always buy when we want them to. So I think about how to be able to follow up and follow through. How can I go back, right? And be met with open arms. And that's what most people don't think about. They get so disappointed that the person said no that they leave, they end that conversation uncomfortably. And then when their superior or their manager or even on they're looking at their Rolodex and they're wanting to call people back, they have this immediate sense of uncomfort. So when I think about igniting confidence, it's that confidence that I'm inspiring people regardless of what transpired. That I don't care what happened. I want you to walk away with the thought that, oh my God, Meshell was awesome. Right. And
I
anybody
love
has
that.
capacity. Every one of us has that capacity to do that on a day to day. And that's how you expand your network and we know our network is equivalent to our network. So
100%. And I love that. Focusing on the experience that you're creating with your relationship and interaction rather than focusing on whatever the outcome it is that you're trying to achieve will always win, and being of service to others. I'm a huge just fan of that concept of, like, how can I serve people and leave them feeling good about that interaction?
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So my personal mantra is you will be better off for having met me, period. And I emphasize that period because your behavior does not dictate my awesome.
That's wonderful. Oh my gosh.
Only goal is
That is
that
quotable.
you would be left. And then, so in the face of someone who is, we'll give an example, cantankerous, for example, most people internalize and personalize that other person's behavior. Whereas I, on the other hand, think, okay, since I've decided to be this incredible, awesome person, now I get to test and validate that belief, right? Because it's easy to be nice and kind and magnanimous and awesome when things are going well. The true test of character is, what do you do when it falls apart, when the wheels come off, when the things don't go as planned, when you're inconvenienced and uncomfortable and the unexpected and they don't sign the contract. That's the person you're actually getting. That's the person you're marrying. That's the person you're hiring. That's the person you're collaborating with. The one that deals with all the messy stuff. And so that's where I just get to test and validate my character all day long with those types of people. The other people, it's easy to be awesome when it's easy. I like the hard ones.
100%. So we got a good number of folks in here. Tony has joined us, another one of our co-authors.
Hey, Tony. I'm relocated to Dallas now.
Did you have to catch up with Tony? She's
I
over there in
know.
Dallas.
Yeah, and
so
we're
at some point
in Dallas, so we definitely got to get together, Tony.
Yeah. So at some point, I guess we're gonna stop for the book tour in Dallas too. So I'll be coming to Dallas.
Woo-hoo.
There's one comment here that I love. Sales is human first, and I think people forget about that so often. That if you're dealing with people, and people like people. You know what I mean? I think back to my Dale Carnegie of how to win friends and influence people. And,
Oh,
I know people say it all the time. I know people do. It's like people just grab it out, but I could tell you the golden rules, of how to compartmentalize worry and how to I truly believe that if you're going to be of service and helping, that makes all the difference. Heidi agrees. Heidi says serve first.
her first. Well, Heidi, and one of the things that people forget, they talk about what they believe they should acquire, which is that sense of I deserve, right? But when you break down the word deserve, right, and its Latin root, deserve of or from service. So my question
Yeah.
is, what have you put out into universe, the world, so that, right? Because it's that you're looking for an outcome. So what have you done to match that, right? So that it becomes reciprocal. You create this flow. So instead of trying and to get a sale, trying to get a client, trying to get more money, right? I remind people, think about what you give, right? So when I
Yeah.
give it and I just make that my standard world, because like, Maya Angelou says, people forget what you did, they don't remember what you said, but they never forget how you made them feel. So you create
Oh,
alliances and advocates. So even when they
it's my
don't buy it,
favorite.
they still remember, right? I would say everybody has the opportunity to create opportunity based on how you show up and lead people.
100%. That's one of my favorite quotes.
Uh,
Though Heidi's calling out your mic drop there. Your behavior does not dictate my awesome. And I love that too. I'm like, man, that really was a mic drop. Um, yeah. So we've got a lot. Heidi, I feel the need. I
yeah.
need that on a poster
I've
in
been
my
told I'm
office.
a walking meme, so you'll get a lot of those.
And it looks like we'll be in Dallas July 14th and 15th.
Mark your
So
calendars, everyone.
Dallas, girls trip to Dallas,
Yes.
or
You
everyone
have to
trip
get you guys
rather.
some cowboy hats and spurs when you come here.
Yeah. So let me ask you, when I was looking at your website, some stuff about you, there was a lot of focus on vision.
Yeah.
So you ignite confidence. Where does vision come to play in what you do?
Well, and vision is my jam. It's because nothing great has ever been created in this world unless someone envisioned it first. So that
Yeah.
means that's the mental picture. We don't like the people that are in our history books, the people that we tout and hold in high esteem for having gone before us. And like, the industrial era, for example, where you have Ford, Carnegie, Napoleon Hill, all those guys back then, right? They had a vision of what they were going to do. Even now, Elon Musk, and you look at all these beta, all these guys now, right? Who are in women, right? I'm thinking of Spanx. All of a sudden, I can't call her name. Sarah Blakely, right? She
Yeah.
created not just a piece of clothing; she created an entire industry, right?
Hmm.
Spanx is an entire industry, right? And it's the vision, right? What they see is the target, and that target allows you to adapt. So you have goals. Goals have end dates and milestones, right? Mile markers. When you get to the goal, then what? Goal is an acquisition, an achievement, something you acquire. It's external to you. A vision
Yeah.
is who you become in the process of an acquisition. So once you acquire it, you keep going. With the goal, you stop, and then you go, now what? A vision allows you to become and keep going.
That's beautiful. So when you're talking about vision, are we talking about sort of writing that down and defining it? Are we
Oh,
talking vision
absolutely.
boards? Are we
Absolutely.
talking
Yep. Yep. All that.
everything,
All,
all of them?
all the things.
Well, I do vision boards, right? And everyone's like, "Oh, show me your vision board." I'm like, "No, they're my vision board, right? It's mine that I look at and I embrace and I go, this is where I'm going."
Yeah.
Or this is where I want to be, or this is how I envision what I envision for myself. And that's evolved over time. So it's funny, like at one point in my life, I was going this direction. And I'm like, once I started to learn everything there was to know about that, I was like, I don't want to do that at all. That's not where I'm going, you know? And so I took another direction. So sometimes that vision evolves, right? how many times do you think your vision is sort of evolved in your career? I'm
Oh,
curious.
it's a lot, right?
Yeah.
So the expectation of when I work with people. So one, I actually highly, highly recommend that they put the vision out there, right? Because I'm
Hmm.
teaching people who to become, not what to have. And so once you become it, everybody's going to know it because they're interfacing with who you're becoming, right? So if it's a secret,
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense to me,
Mhm.
like the way that I help people to, right? So it's this is what you want, this is why you want it, and then who's the person that has it, and focus on that because once you have the habit, you'll always have the results. The reverse is not true.
100%.
So what the world often teaches people what to do, not how to become it. So you can't not do it. Once you can't, you right, and that's why I say become it, and then your mind wouldn't even conceive not being a successful seller, not being an incredible wife, not being a wonderful mom, not being a, so all of those things people are trying. They're saying, I'm trying, I have to, I need to. You haven't become it.
Hmm.
Right? And so again, getting to that, right? Why that's relevant, and that's why the evolution means you're not stuck. You like I wanted to be a published author. It's been on my vision board for years, right? I stopped beating myself up. And the minute I stopped beating myself up because I hadn't become one, then this opportunity, here comes Heidi reaching out to me. And it didn't show up the way I thought it would. And it showed up, right? So again, it's letting go of the how and just trusting that it will evolve, saying yes, because what you're doing is you're expanding your abilities and capabilities in the process so you can create the habit of receiving more and more and more, not just that one thing.
Hmm. Well, it is so funny. You talk about like kind of that letting go of the outcome, right? So I did that with my closet this week. So I had a pair of my favorite jeans that I want to bring to Boston. We're going to Boston, and I'm like, I'm gonna fit into these jeans. But then I was under the weather and I got sick and I've been stressed and I wanted to eat a donut. And so I accepted I was going to eat the donut. I ate the donut and I bought a new pair of jeans in like a size bigger. I bought online, I ordered a bunch, I returned the ones I didn't want, and I let go of it. And you know what happened? I fit into those jeans now, right?
That's
But
awesome.
it wasn't until I let it go, like, the hell with it. I don't need like I don't even care really. I just like the way those fit when I'm that size, but I can buy a pair of this is it's not like as soon as I let it go. And I was obsessing. Um and sometimes life is like that, right? Vision is acquired, goals achieved. Love that. A shout out to Paula. I love that Paula's here. Hi
Yes,
Paula.
hey Paula. Yes, she has a great book, and her work is all around adding music, right? Having CEOs become like maestros, and then their team is like the orchestra. So it's just, and everybody has a different note and instrument. So the way she really serves it up is absolutely wonderful.
No, 100%. I haven't read the book yet, but I'm eager to. Like again, I like I mentioned before, I need time. I need time to sit and focus and read some books. And I haven't had a lot lately, but I'm eager to read it because I really think there is a lot to be said for the energy music brings.
Hmm.
Like just that energy and joy. I think makes a world of difference. Positivity. So Heidi says,
Yeah,
agree. My chapter is titled "Becoming is the Journey." Becoming is a process, but when you get there, that's
yeah,
true.
yeah. So
That's beautiful.
yeah, and I love that because what happens is people, when you become something, right? When you say, for instance, an exercise habit, and I've probably mentioned that
Yeah.
because that's something that will be reinstated in my life in the very near future. When you start out, you're begrudging it, right? The most powerful habits that deliver the best results in life generally start off hard. And it's this amazing thing. The habits that don't serve you start off easy, right? But the ones that serve you the best, right? Budgeting so you can build wealth, right? Speaking highly of your mate or your family so you can have good relationships. Um, you know, Tracking your and putting into your CRM all the information from a sales call, right? Initially, when you do that, you don't like it, but and it leads to the best possible results. So, and when you're doing it, it's just that one day you realize like, oh my God, I'm doing it. You don't know when it shifts into reality. It's just that, and the other part is that if you don't have that consistency, you'll never get there. You'll always be struggling to try versus just being.
100%. I totally hear you on that. So Colette's asking, when are you in Boston? We are in Boston. You're going to be in Boston too, right? We're going to be in
Yes,
Boston.
yes.
So our book signing is March 4th, and it's at a bookstore called More Than Words, which is a nonprofit. And they help, people who've gone through the foster care system and who are homeless, like young adults who want to develop business skills, which I think is just amazing. So anyone in the Boston area, definitely come out and you can share the stories like live. Meet us, I'm excited about Boston. Are you excited about Boston?
I'm absolutely like, yeah, that's that's some girls trip. I'm going a little bit early because I'm part of Women Sales Pro. So I have a couple of women that are in the book that are from Women Sales Pro that I'll get to see, and it gives me a little time to hang out and just get away. Actually,
I'm going early too.
I realize I'm like, I no longer have a coat for the winter, even though I lived in New York for 15 years, right? All the purging over the years of being in Texas for the last 11 years, I no longer had a coat. That was
I bought one of those
for
too.
East Coast March.
Yeah. No, I totally hear you. I bought one of those too. I just went on a little shopping spree and I was like, well, the things will arrive. I'll try it on. Whatever I keep, I keep. What I don't, I'll just return. No big deal.
Actually.
We called it a day. I'm like, I'm not gonna go from store to store and stress it out. I'm gonna buy exactly what I want. And then just if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. I'm just, that's what credit cards are for, returns. So yeah, so we've got a lot of things going on here in the chat. Comfort zone allows you to truly blossom and grow. That's totally true. Like getting out of that comfort zone, so important.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, Tony is saying, yeah, giving the dates in Boston, March 3rd, because we have the book signing event.
Yeah. The book signing is actually March 4th. And I'm in town March 2nd. Always reach out to me.
Yeah, I'm in town March 2nd.
You're in town when? March 2nd as well? Yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna go do some stuff at the Salesforce building. I'm excited to be in Boston, and since I'm like new to Salesforce, I get to like go see my first tower. I think that's pretty. I'm pretty excited about that. So listening to Meshell is like listening to a motivation song. Pump up the jam.
Paula,
that's awesome.
After this, I'm gonna play that because that says pump up the jam.
Yeah, no, I was like, I can't hear like pump up the jam without going through the lyrics, and that I'm going to be thinking about that song all day.
Yeah, there was somebody that the other person that mentioned about the comfort zone. And it's interesting when you think about sales, when you think about life, everything, like they have that imagery that magic only happens outside the comfort zone. We have this misconception that we will either arrive at some destination where everything will work out or be comfortable or we'll have some level of ease. But change is the constant. So mastering, making being uncomfortable, right? Being able to adapt and be flexible when the unplanned and the unexpected happen in your life, because it's always going to happen, is what allows you to actually have wild success. Most people fall apart and they whine and complain in their energy, where where your energy flows, your focus goes. So the minute you start complaining about something, you just create more of that versus going, well, I don't know why this happened, and this is my vision, and I'm awesome. So things are going to work out. I don't even know how. I literally say that all day long, and it always works out because you cannot create what you don't believe. And until you believe that you are in a very intelligent being made for such a time as this, and everything is just allowing you to expand your character, right? Nobody, like you just said, you want all the sales success, right? There's no genie or Santa Claus coming. In order for you to have more and become and to have different or better, you must become more, better, and different. That
I
way,
get
not
it.
only do you acquire it, you can maintain it and sustain it. When you become it, that's the maintenance and the sustaining it. But if you don't become it, then you won't keep it. It's like the lottery. Get it, and then your mind doesn't conceive that you deserve it, and you give it away and you run through it. So this is why it's so important to create these standards of mastering being uncomfortable, mastering being flexible, mastering being compassionate, right? All of these things are what imbue people to you and help you build that network and that pipeline, because people enjoy having you around. They'll enjoy working with you. They'll love referring you because you make them look awesome.
100%. Totally agree with you. And Colette, are you in the Boston area? I don't know, Colette, but please come out if you are. I mean, we would love to meet you too. And Catherine needs shoes. Catherine, I've got these sparkly high heels that like have been sitting in a box since like New Year's Eve a couple years ago, and I'm just like dying to like they're totally coming on the trip. My sparkly silver heels.
So you've been walking around the house in them already, right? Breaking them
Well,
in.
yeah, I did a little bit, but they're so pretty. And they just sparkle. I'm not really a heels person, so yeah, I'm gonna have to be walking around the house in some heels a little bit more. And I've gotten really used to my slippers. So
I know, right?
right, yeah. So where your energy goes, your focus flows. Brilliant, yeah. Oh, Paula wrote it too. And then we've got Jason Van Camp's book and program, Deliberate Discomfort. I love that. I all the times in my life that I've been scared or uncomfortable, those are always the times that I've like achieved the most amazing things. So
Yes.
there's definitely a lot of truth to that. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Who
everybody
is it?
loves that.
I'm thinking about she does the 5 second rule, and she just did that other book, and then she's challenging people. Fear is our friend, right? Since everything we want is outside the comfort zone, that's where the magic happens. Then what happens when you're uncomfortable? What happens when you're inconvenienced? What happens when you're uncertain? It actually is you thinking, your thoughts are telling you a story that this is going to be painful or awful based on past, instead of focusing on the vision and realize this is moving me and helping me to grow. I'm growing up, I'm maturing emotionally, I'm becoming more equipped to be able to have more clients, a bigger business, a larger team, right? It's expanding the territory of my mind, right? So I make more decisions in the midst of change and difficulties and setbacks and fear and failure. But when you crumple, you're not good to anyone or yourself, and your creativity does not kick in because your blood flow actually ceases to flow to your brain. So you shut down and you start focusing on the one problem versus the infinite capability that you have as a human being to solve.
Totally true. Totally agree with you. So we've got someone, it says LinkedIn user, but it just means that they're private, but really needed this today. Been having a rough sales month so far. Needed a little mindset refresh. Thank you so much for these gems of wisdom. So if you're having a rough sales month, and something that I suggest, right, is that if you focus on just bringing value to every interaction,
Yes.
and less focused on the number, that the results will just happen.
Yes.
Or if you focus on those date tight compartments and just focus on what can I do today to just drive momentum, and every day focus on what I could do today to drive that momentum, the results are going to show up.
Yes, yeah.
100%.
I love that. I love that. And to piggyback off what Jen said, focus on what you propose, not the close. So salespeople struggle because they're constantly trying to get a sale, and wildly successful salespeople like ourselves will tell you we get a lot of no's. So that's high levels of rejection. So when I constantly am grading myself based on whether I get a sale or not, then at the end of the day, I'll feel bad. And when I focus on proposing value, as Jen said, then at the end of the day, I feel awesome because everybody, whether they said yes or no, received value. So it changes,
100%.
it shifts your mindset, and it shifts how you are internalizing everything that's being said and happening to you throughout the day. So instead of it happening to you, it's happening for you. I'm getting to have all these conversations. I mean, and you're getting to practice. It's an experiment. All you do is get better and better every day. Mastery is what? 10,000 hours, 10,000 repetitions. Have you made 10,000 sales calls yet? Probably not, right?
Yeah.
So just look at your day. And the last thing I'll say is, before I get on every call, I envision that it's going to go exceptionally well no matter what. Not based on them buying, it's just going to go exceptionally well. What are the chances out of 7.7 billion people that I am on a call with one or presenting to a group of people that I have these people and we are collectively here together at this time? When you think about the calculations, it's miraculous. Therefore, this opportunity is a miracle, and I get to present a miracle.
100%. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So Colette has some advice for us, and this is super useful to me. This is definitely bringing a lot of value to my world.
Yes.
So I'm going to bring the sparkly heels and the boots, and that's very good advice, because I was going to bring like these cute little booties, and I'm going to just not mess around. So thank you, Colette. I'm not going to mess around. I'm going to get some boots, like legit boots. As we mentioned, credit cards are for returns. It's going to be fun. So thank you. You know, we're at like 12:29, and we barely talked about the book. But you know, we've got.
I think we did talk about the book, because this is like, so besides UI and Heidi, who you've seen in chat, and Tony, who you've seen in chat, there's a collective of 20 stories that are this level of inspiring and encouraging and empowering. And again, when we talk about the mindset of sales, the reason we struggle with making that call or doing that follow-up or doing that prospecting, because the mind is telling you what could go wrong, right? They're going to say no. To give your mind, it needs to be fed enough data so that it can calculate an output that you are going to succeed. And when you read all these stories from all these varied women of varied backgrounds and varied industries, your unconscious mind now has the data to remind you, yep, I can do this. If they can, I can. And that's all your mind ever needs to know. If they can, I can. We generally don't have enough of that information that has been input so you can get the output. You don't get an outcome without input. So this book is a great source of that level of input.
100%. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to close out with a clip, but next week I've got Jenny Anderson, another one of our co-authors. So I'm excited to have her. And we're going to be talking about industries, like women in various industries, and why some women women do so well in some industries, but then, you know, in tech have such a hard time getting through the door. So we're gonna be talking about that. So I'm excited to have her on. And then on the 23rd of February, I have a collection of co-authors joining me for like an amazing panel. And I'm super excited about that. I have like 9 people that day.
Oh wow!
So yeah, no, it's gonna be a big panel. It's in the evening, because we like to change things up. And so the evening reminded me of the last time I used to do this thing called Ladies Happy Hour. I could just get as many different women together and we just have conversations. And so we had one about building your tribe. And Shannon Sellis wrote a song while we were all talking during this LinkedIn Live Ladies Happy Hour. And it's been a while since I did this clip, but it was last year in March. And so I'm thinking about Shannon and building a tribe, and I'm excited to go meet a tribe of women over in Boston. And I'm like, you know, we need to play this song. So Meshell, thank you again. Thank you for everyone who joined us. Enjoy this little song Shannon made just for me in that moment.
To clink glasses with you in Boston.
Me too.
Available. So it's kind of neat that this tribe thing is out there right now. But You know, Jen, you asked me if I would come up with a song or a ditty, and things have been really, a lot's been going on for me, so I didn't get the chance. However, I was very inspired by what everyone wrote, everyone said, and by what the comments have been saying. And in the time that we've been talking, I actually wrote something. So forgive me for not having tried this out. This is fresh as of this hour.
You need us to give you a beat or something?
Please do not, no. I do not do well with the beat. Let's see how it works. Finding my tribe, we got a vibe. Who I'd want to subscribe to. Maybe hard to describe too. Little bits of my soul come together. We're birds of a feather. We're better this way. Go-getters who stay. Soul birds, we rise. We ride the highs and the lows though. Where it leads, who knows? It's not just people like me, but those who inspire me, who come in and complete me. An older vision or a mini me. We go together to celebrate with the power to elevate. It feels so great, not like there's too much on my plate. So my tribe is anywhere I want to be, local or overseas. If you want to be in my tribe, come on over and find me.
Oh my God.
That is lyrically